While you four are experts, we actually have an honest-to-goodness high school student in this room right now that we're going to talk to see if all of your expertise is actually being manifested in his classroom. So let me come on over here and talk to Kourosh Houshmand, who is a grade 12 student at Earl Hague High School with the Toronto District School Board. You're also what's called a student trustee. So you're on the school board.
Right, yeah.
You don't vote, but you're on the board.
I don't. We don't have a binding vote, though. Our vote certainly affects what the other trustees say and do.
Really?
Well, you would hope so, right?
Well, those are two different things, but okay. I want to get a sense. You're in the last year of high school, right?
Right.
So I want to get a sense over your number of years in the public school. Have you been in the public school system all the way through?
Yes.
How well do you feel that this public school system has prepared you for whatever's going to come next?
I think if the future, were to be, if the future consisted of, lifelong membership in the National Regurgitation Academy, then I would be greatly prepared. Unfortunately, I think it's quite frankly the opposite. We live in a world where we have to be sparked by curiosity. It's uncertainty that drives us. It's uncertainty that makes us who we are and what we do. And quite frankly, I do not think that currently, though we have a great education system in Ontario, it's the wrong system.
What does that mean?
Well, I think technology integration has to be a lot more prevalent. And I don't use that term loosely because, everyone thinks, let's integrate technology. One teacher puts up a website and, you think that the job's done. But that's not the case, right? It's utilizing Facebook, let's say. Students are on Facebook, 25 hours out of the 24 hours in a day. And yet we haven't utilized that in terms of creating a group, a classroom group, where you can, use that.
But you know why, right? You know the fear. The fear is that I guess all your teachers and principals and so on think that you're just messing around on Facebook rather than using these digital tools to enhance your education. What's the reality?
Well, the reality is we cannot bring about change through being irrelevant. If you want to bring about change, it's never done so through being irrelevant. All the change. If you want to change the system, you have to be relevant in doing so. And using social media, when students are on it, you have to utilize this fantastic tool.
What percentage of your teachers do you think have embraced this kind of digital landscape that you'd like to see in class?
Well, I think it's less about embracing technology. It's more so, you have two groups of teachers. One who vehemently dislike technology, and those who say, it's okay.
Oh, so nobody embraces it.
I'd say a very rare group of teachers embrace it, and let alone embracing isn't even the right word because we haven't reached that level yet. Embracing means proper integration. That hasn't happened.
Can you bring smartphones or iPads into your classes?
You can, but you can't use it.
Come again?
You can't use it. And to some extent, I understand why. But you can't really use it while the teacher is speaking. Perhaps with this kind of a method, teacher standing on top, in the front of a classroom, and students there, maybe you shouldn't. But you have to change it so that you can.
When did you last get a report card?
I think it was a couple weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago. Yeah. What was the number at the very bottom?
It was a 94%.
Your overall average?
My overall average. Though let me say, there's it's with the current way, it's about regurgitation. I wouldn't put too much value to that.
Now, when you say school has prepared you for the National Regurgitation Institute, meaning they teach facts, you've retained those facts, and you can spit them out as needs be. But that hasn't taught you to be, a critical thinker?
I think it has, but there's always room for it. And I'm not here to say that our education system's awful. Our teachers, everything that we do is fantastic. There's just room to make it better and to make it more useful. And it's I parallel this situation. I think we're all, in essence, undercover toddlers. And the reason I say that is because, a toddler is sitting there and you try to force feed it, right? It doesn't like it. But if you leave the cookie or whatever it is on the other side of the room and you teach it how to walk, then it'll perhaps try it. And that's what technology really brings to the classroom. It gives us the outlook and that element of curiosity to want to learn. And it's less about forcing it and more so about sparking curiosity.
Kourosh, I can't wait until you are the Minister of Education. You are going to
Thank you so much.
You are going to shake things up. How about a hand for this guy? Thank you very much for joining us. Let's go back over here. Well, I want some feedback from all of you on what you just heard. Camille, what do you think?
I think he's made some excellent points. I think he's highlighted some of the issues that we have within our school system. And he's a great example. He's getting 95. Why do we need to change then? We look at our PISA scores. We're doing fine internationally. Why do we need to change? And I think, as Dr. Foyne has said earlier as well, is that we can't stand still. But we have a lot of pressure from students, from parents, that no, we're very comfortable with our current system. We'd like it to stay that way because